Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is J to the Nines, and today I just wanted to go over a topic that I've been meaning to talk about, which is the SNKRS app. Seeing as of recently there's been a lot of content that has been created around the SNKRS app, recently meaning in the last year or so, and a lot of people giving their tips and tricks on how to get a dub on the SNKRS app. These videos do fairly well, and I thought to myself, I should do a little bit of research on this and see why it's so difficult to actually obtain a pair of shoes off of the SNKRS app. What I found wasn't hard to find, and it was actually pretty surprising to me. So the SNKRS app was created in 2015, and to little people's knowledge, the SNKRS app was created as a test. It was an experiment for Nike to see how well an app that targeted the sneakerhead or the social aspect of the culture would do well. The SNKRS app did extremely well, to the point to where they made that experiment, which is the SNKRS app, their main source of sneaker drops. Why is this important? It's important because Nike used the SNKRS app as an experiment to see how well sneaker drops would perform on an app. For the most part, they figured out that people were willing to buy these sneakers as long as they appeared to be limited. So their whole thing in the beginning was that the sneakers that they would release on the app would be limited sneakers that would do well in a resale market. And so what happened was they quickly realized that anything that they dropped on the SNKRS app would sell out. Jordan and Nike, they had difficulties in the past to where if they created a general release sneaker, or even if they created somewhat of a limited sneaker, it wouldn't always sell out. And it was kind of a flip to see which drop would sell and which drop wouldn't. It would kind of be just up to the market. But with the SNKRS app, Nike was able to control the market. So if anybody realizes, any general release sneaker is still selling out. So any retro Jordan that is sold, even in a general release colorway, it sells out and almost sells out instantly. This fixed the problem for Nike. Nike was pouring all of this money into production costs, and at the end of the day, they weren't making as big a margin, sometimes even losing on certain sneakers that they would produce because they weren't selling out. They tackled one, fixing that market to where now every Jordan is exclusive, or at least perceived to be exclusive. And here's the reason why, and here's how they created this. And I don't know if this was intentional or not, but they created a frustration around the culture, because usually the sneaker culture, when it was a lot smaller, it wouldn't be extremely difficult to buy the latest release of sneakers. And the only difficulty that you would come by is if you wanted to buy PEs, if you wanted to buy limited sneakers that they only made a couple thousand pairs. And then of course, obviously, the understanding is that if you're gonna buy a limited shoe, you're gonna have to pay a limited price. You're gonna have to pay a premium. And that was when it was all fair and it worked. But nowadays, you can't even buy a normal Jordan without having to spend at least $50 to $100 more than retail. And that's on a very rare occasion. Majority of the times you're gonna have to spend $200 to double or triple the price of these normal release sneakers, because that's the market. And that's partly built out of the reselling market, and Nike obviously understood that the reselling market was becoming way bigger. And so they chose to capitalize on that, which is a smart move on Nike's part. But who gets screwed over? Us, people who want to get the sneakers. So a lot of you who pay attention to these sneaker app videos and people giving you tips and tricks to get a W and stop taking L's on the sneakers app, to some extent, it's not real, it's not true. And here's what I'll show you. So it doesn't take long. If you look and you go to, it's called Nike Sneakers System Explained. So it's called betternikebot.com. And it wasn't hard to find. I had to scroll down a couple articles and it was right here. Nike Sneakers app uses a system. And in this system, they have three different types of releases. There's a FCFS release, there's a Leo release, and then there's a Dan release. So the FCFS release is a first come first serve, which is how I think every retail store releases sneakers. First person to be there, first person to pay the price gets the shoe. That is obviously the most fair, but it doesn't always mean that brings the most profit. The second type of sneaker release is called a Leo. So Leo says right here, Leo is similar to Flow, but contains a raffle aspect to it. The way a Leo drop works is you enter your accounts to purchase a shoe. Nike will randomly pick the first accounts that entered entries that will be allowed to continue with purchasing the shoe. The number of entries picked depends on the stock for the size you choose. With the Leo release, Nike starts picking winners at 02, which is why it's best to get all your accounts entered within the first 2 minutes of the draw. Okay, so if you watch all of these videos and they say, hey, you should have your, you should have your information preloaded, you should have every app on your phone closed except for the sneakers app. You should have, all your information in before, so that at 7 o'clock you can tap that buy button and hopefully you'll get it. That's one aspect of it if they're doing a Leo type of drop. So basically, Leo and Dan drops are one and the same, except for the fact that Leo is a very smaller number. So Dan is a type of drop that they take the first 10 to 30 minutes. They take all of the accounts that enter in to buy the shoe in that 10 to 30 minute range. So say if you have a sneaker drop that drops at 7 o'clock, that's usually how they, or what time they drop. They'll go until 7:30, and then after 7:30 they'll take all the accounts, all the people who entered in to buy that shoe. They will enter their names in a raffle, and out of random they will pick who gets the shoe and who doesn't. So that is the same as a Leo, except a Leo takes the first 2 minutes of that certain shoe size, and then whoever entered in that first 2 minutes, they'll take their names, they'll put that into a raffle, and then they'll pick out of that randomly who gets the shoe. So you have all of these people, they're getting extremely upset because they don't understand that they're walking into a raffle. They're thinking, oh, I'm putting my hard-earned money, into this. I'm buying it. So why the hell am I not getting a sneaker? And this is, this is very strategic of Nike's part, but it's also kind of scummy. It's a way of saying, oh yeah, here it is, dangling in front of your face. And then it's like, ooh, sorry. Get them next time. And so this obsession with this sneakers app, it created an obsession with it. So like every Saturday at 7 o'clock, you'd be right there. It doesn't matter what the shoe is. It doesn't matter what the colorway is. You're right there just trying to buy it, because now you understand that there's some type of limit to the sneaker. And I don't know if Nike began making smaller, batches. They would only make a certain number. It could be because they were making way too many before that we could just walk into a store and buy the sneaker that we wanted. So now they're limiting the amount of sneakers. They're limiting the amount of products that they make. And on top of that, they're making it extremely difficult to buy these pairs. So what do you get? You get, a very young culture who develops an obsession with obtaining shoes. And it kind of sucks, honestly. All of these, if you don't have a sound mind on yourself, you're not able to sift through how to remain sane through trials. It's tough, but that's where, your own self-control comes in. And a lot of these people, if we're going to be honest, when it comes to materials, when it comes to shopping, that is a place where a lot of people lack self-control, is, giving into just buying. Well, a lot of this young generation, they're running into this issue to where they're obsessed with getting the next shoe. They're obsessed with not taking that L. And another part of it is when you take that, or when you actually win, it releases a huge amount of dopamine in your head, and it makes you want to keep doing it. So despite the frustration, despite taking the 10th L in a row, you're still gonna get on next Saturday, no matter what the shoe is, and you're gonna buy it, or at least you're gonna try to. When I downloaded the SNKRS app, I hit on my very first shoe. My very first shoe was the Air Jordan 1 Court Purples. I don't know, there's been a lot of people speculate that new accounts have a better chance in hitting on pairs of shoes, and to my luck, it did. I got those pairs, and then I only hit on one more shoe, which was the Nike Rubber Dunk Off-Whites, the black and green color. And if I'm being honest, I didn't want the shoe. I was kind of stuck in that spiral of taking L after L after L, but I wanted that W so much that I continued to try every week to get a pair of shoes, and I just so happened to hit on that pair. The SNKRS app started off as an experiment that was successful for Nike. And so Nike quickly learned that they could use the SNKRS app to boost sales. They could use the SNKRS app to create exclusivity within the brand, which is now why you don't see Jordans sitting on shelves. And that's what Nike wanted. It boosts their sales. So at the moment, this Nike sneaker app kind of controls the market. The sad part about it is that it won't change as long as the SNKRS app continues to do well. And it won't change because Nike's getting exactly what they want. They're getting profit, they're getting exclusivity, they're getting people to buy their shoes. As long as the SNKRS app does well, I believe the price of sneakers will also go up. Like, it will continue to go up. Yet, I guess the quality of the shoes won't ever go up. This is exactly why a pair of Air Jordan 1s costs $190 today, and almost every single drop and release, like, the materials are different. They're not really the same. So you're not really paying for quality. You're paying for a silhouette, and you're paying for a brand, which kind of sucks. Nike is really the only brand, I guess, mainstream brand that you really pay attention to that, because if you're paying premium prices for, luxury brand sneakers, you're obviously going to get sneakers that have very good quality. But Nike is the only, I guess, Nike, to me, and I could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, please comment and, check me on this, but Nike is really the only brand that gets away with really shitty materials, because you're not buying the quality of the product, you're buying the brand. And I think that should change, but it won't change because we're in this endless cycle of, obsessive consumerism. So yeah, I don't exactly know how well this video is gonna play out. I don't really know how well I articulated myself in this video, but if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below and just have a discussion with me. that's part of why I created this channel. That's partly why, I wanted to, put my opinion out there, is because I know I'm not the only one with this opinion, and I also want to learn from the people who have others. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed having this discussion with me, please hit the like button, share this video with whoever you believe needs to hear it, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow this channel and reach a bigger audience, and if I can do that, then I'll be completely happy. So yeah, this is J to the Nines, and we're out. Peace.